It's giving take two. It's giving glare. It's giving, hi, husband. I was recording, so I'm gonna need you to telepathically know that. Anyway, hey, you guys. It's Mecky from Match by Mecky. Obviously, you know that because you're on my page. So, I am here with a episode 2 Bachelorette recap. Have you guys been tuning in? Low key, I feel like Michelle's season is kind of good. So shout out to Michelle. Anyway, let me jump right into it. So they first went on a group date, and they met with like 3 of her 5th grade students. I think those are her students. And you know, they did math, science, musical chairs. There was this guy named Peter. And Peter, calm down. So I have a podcast too, not a Match by Mecky podcast, but a podcast that you get to see even more of my personality, just not really talking about relationship stuff. Shout out to From Mecky to Mars. But yeah, so basically Peter was just doing the most. And the reason I'm bringing up the podcast is because I was just saying how one of the things I really like about guys is that they be chilling. You know, I feel like for the most part, guys don't be doing too much. They be chilling and just really, you know, peeping the scene. Peter, on the other hand, was doing the most. Now, I do understand people should be themselves, but I feel like, turn it down, Peter. You just was trying to be seen and not letting anyone else have a moment. Someone actually called him a narcissist, which I thought was kind of fitting, at least for that specific date. Yeah, there were guys who popped up that I've never seen before. I'm like, where you come from? Where you was hiding in the back on episode 1? Which actually, Michelle got rid of one of them. And I was like, girl, is you blind? Is you legally blind? Let me stop playing. But, you know, maybe they didn't have that initial spark or chemistry. Sir, I don't know your name, but if you're watching, I am a professional matchmaker. Holla at your girl. I could find you a lady and I could find her quick. I'm gonna leave that on the table. Y'all tag the man. Y'all know who I'm talking about, the one she sent home. Anyway, there's the table guy from episode 1. I wonder if he's gonna regret calling him or popping up as a table, because that's all I know him as. Low key, I think his name is Rick. I'm not sure. I just know he's the one that showed up as a table. So I kind of like him for her. Like, he, you know, of course I'm rooting for who I'm rooting for. We're going to talk about him later. Well, no, we can talk about him now. Nate. He's still a front runner. Maybe not by himself anymore. I wonder if that's really how he spells his name, or if he's just trying to be cool. You know, like, let me stand out and put Nayte. That's really how you spell your name, or you playing? Anyway, but table guy, I think he's doing well as well. So yeah, that was the first date. That was the table guy. Then she went on her first one-on-one date with Jamie. They went rock climbing. And I thought it was nice. Like, I didn't think I was gonna like him at first. Something about him was just like, not really feeling him. But as they were rock climbing, I liked how supportive he was of her, and he kind of coached her through, which I thought was super sweet. I'm like, what was at the top of the rocks? A picnic. Hey, Bachelor Nation, your girl be doing luxury picnics or whatnot. So holla at me if you want me to set up next season. Just kidding, but also not. You know how kind of like, you know, I'm just playing. Unless you're gonna do it, that's me. I'm just playing. Unless you're gonna do it. But yeah, no, they had a picnic, and then they went to dinner, and then at the dinner, Jamie was basically telling her like about his upbringing. He told about his mom, how she had mental illness, and she basically her story. And I was like, okay, like, maybe you're not so bad. Let me kind of open up to him a little bit more. In the moment, I'm glad I did, but later I'll tell y'all why I was right from the beginning. But yeah, I just thought by him sharing his story, about his mom, that it was super sweet. And, you know, it helped me understand why he comes off the way he comes off. What else? Then there was a singer girl. The girl could sing, but I'm like, when does this date end? Like, it was like a never ending date. So yeah, finally, of course, she gave him a rose because she was feeling his vibe. Afterwards, there was another group date. And on that group date, what happened? Oh, it was basketball. Now, it, for a moment, was seeming like a one-on-one between Michelle and Joe. But that's the Joe that I was telling y'all about last week, where he kind of ghosted her. I don't know. His vibe seems, someone else said he's reserved, at least in the house. Maybe he's just kind of waiting to open up too. But yeah, you know, I kind of like Joe now. Even though I'm still watching him, I like him. I got other people that my eyes need to be on for now. So for now, I like Joe. She brought in some WNBA players that I thought like, okay, y'all cute or whatever. Did you guys used to think that WNBA players, like, you can't dress girly or like be super girly and get your hair and makeup and stuff? That's how I used to view WNBA players. So I'm glad she brought them in because they were two beautiful girls. I'm bad with names and y'all should know that by now. But yeah, Joe and Malik, they became LeBron and AD, honey. Their team was losing. They still ultimately ended up losing, but I was like, okay, this like low-key little mini overseas division or whatever. Not overseas, like a little, what's the division? Y'all know I don't be knowing sports like that, so I be trying. Yeah, and that's pretty much how the episode went. Even though Joe was on the losing team, she still let him get the MVP, and he was able to join the group date. I thought that was nice. Oh, this is why I said I was right about Jamie. So Jamie started tripping about her possibly knowing Joe prior to the show, and all the other guys were like, dude, like, if they know each other, we don't care, we here now, like, let's use our time wisely. So he brought it to her attention, and she kind of felt bad about it because she's like, I don't even really know Joe like that, like, how is this a rumor? And Jamie, who was the only one pressed about it, he was the one telling her like, yeah, some of the guys in the house, like, I don't really care. And I'm like, okay, see, so this is why I don't like you, because you're not keeping it 100. Basically, he's trying to make it seem like the other guys, what is this on my, okay. He tried to make it seem like the other guys were the ones gossiping about it, but it was really him the whole time. Like, you were the only one pressed based on how editing of the show went. I'm pointing over here like y'all can see my TV. But based on how the editing of the show went, you were the only one pressed about it. So I don't know. I think she kept Jamie. Of course, she kept Joe. She addressed the room, letting them know like, hey, we did message a couple times prior to the show, a couple years ago, I think she even said, or a year ago, whenever it was, but we never met in person. Like, I met everyone at the same time, which I thought, okay, good. Glad that's out the way. It looked like there's about to be some drama next week, so I am looking forward to tuning in. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about the show so far. Have any of your front runners changed? It's still Nate, Rick, Joe, low-key, even though I'm watching you starting to become a favorite. And yeah, so that is my recap of episode 2 of The Bachelorette, Michelle Young season. I believe it's season 18. So, all right, y'all.